What is up, fam? Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing pretty much very similar to what we were doing in that last bait caster spooling video, where I'm just going to basically show you how to spool a reel from nothing to all the way filled up to the perfect level, all by yourself. You know, you don't need to have somebody else holding the spool or anything like that. But yeah, today we're thanking Dick's because we ran over to Dick's Sporting Goods the other day, we needed some fishing line for this video, and I figured we'd also pick up another bait to try that I haven't fished in a while. So this is all that they had on the shelves. I was looking for like some 8-pound fluorocarbon, but we are rolling with some Suffix Advance. I've never used this stuff. It's some 6-pound. So this is actually a smaller reel. I got it because it's a more lightweight reel. It's a 30 size, so I don't know if you can see right there, but recommends 4, 6, or 8 pounds. So it's got the perfect size spool for this line. So I'm gonna spool it up real quick and see if we can't catch a fish, maybe 1 or 2, before I got work in an hour or 2. So yeah, stay tuned. Hopefully you guys learned something from this. Maybe catch a couple tips or whatever. But yeah, stay tuned. All right, guys, today we're using something a little bit different. Honestly, I don't ever use this rod unless if I'm traveling to Florida or, you know, just wherever I go. I love to take that rod with me, you know, just strap it up to my backpack or whatever and go on the airplane with it. But yeah, today I'm just using it because I've only got 2 spinning setups for the most part that I use. But I wanted one that's a little bit more finesse style, and you know, this reel is a little bit smaller, so I wanted to spool it up with some lighter line anyway. So today, just for the video purposes, I'm gonna set up this travel rod for you. It's a 4-piece. I believe it's a medium action and a 7-footer. So I mean, it's a pretty versatile rod. Like, I've caught a lot of bass on it. I've hooked into like nice snook with it. And I actually caught like a lot of stingray with it. One time I was on the beach and I caught a few like really big stingrays, and I'm shocked it didn't break. So shout out to Cabela's Fish Eagle rod. I'm not sure if they're discontinuing it or not, but we still have some on the shelves, so I'm hoping that they're not, because these things are really, really nice. I'd honestly pick up a few medium lights, or lights even, if, you know, I was going somewhere else for some finesse fishing. But today this is gonna be perfect. I'm gonna get this set up real quick for you guys, and yeah, hopefully get you guys on some nice tips.
I feel like for a lot of people, like, this is what they would kind of want.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is like, I mean, usually when I do go on vacations, it's like family vacations and whatnot, so it's not strictly for fishing. If I was going strictly for fishing, then I'd want like all my tackle, you know what I mean? But because it's not, I mean, whenever I can go, I like to go, or like early in the mornings before we do our, you know, fun family activities. That's when I like to run out to the canals, or, you know, just surf and see if I can't catch a fish. But yeah, nice flex to it. All right, so now I'm just gonna put the reel on there, and so this just loosens and tightens. So you can just pull them. Just so, honestly, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of customers are kind of confused as to how you actually fasten down the reel. That's how you do it. These things cut like butter. Boomerang.
Where can you find these?
Honestly, online. They have an Instagram handle, so I've tagged them before on Instagram, but we sell them at Cabela's. A lot of outdoor stores probably have them, just because they are really, really nice. They're a little bit pricier, but they're worth it if you fish a lot of braid and whatnot. They're really convenient. But yeah, all right, so we just pierced a hole in that. Now we gotta free up this line. That's freed up. Man, this is pretty thin. I'm not used to fishing stuff like this. Might get snapped off here. But, oh well. We're going for it. Some finesse today. Alright, now we got that line soaking in the water, so that's good. That's what we want. We want to get that line nice and wet.
So you always kind of want to get the line wet, like before, like reeling it up always, or is it...
And it's not like it's not a complete necessity. You don't have to do it. But I read in an Fisherman magazine a long time ago that it honestly helps you get that line onto the spool tighter when it's wet. which it makes sense to
It
me.
actually does,
and it honestly works. Like, I do it in my bathtub, in my sink at home, like whatever. It works like a charm. And yeah, I mean, we've got machines at Cabela's that work really, really well too to get the line on there nice and tight. But this way is the only way that I've found to get anywhere near as good as that. So, send this line through the guides. As always, don't miss, don't get the line twisted, go directly through the center. Awesome, now that we got that taken care of, and here, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to take this curly end away. This was clipped onto the actual plastic spool, that's why it's got that memory, but I don't want to lose it, so I'm just going to grab both ends just like that. Boom, tuck this in my pocket, make sure I get that into the garbage. Now this is like a super important part when it comes to spinning reels. When you're spooling these up, a lot of times, like when I was younger, I used to just tie it directly to the spool here. And if you do that, you won't be able to, this bail here spins and puts the line on the spool perfectly. So what you need to do is get this line underneath that bail so that it feeds on there just like it's supposed to, just like that, pretty much. That way, when you start cranking, boom. Spool's on there nice and evenly. Alright, so now the next step, like I always go around the spool twice, just like that, so that I make sure that it grips the spool very well. And then I kind of grab this tag end here, just so that I can do an improved clinch knot. So I just twist this around here 6 times. That's twice. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Alright, now that's 6. Now I just want to make sure nothing comes undone. So I'm taking this tag end right back up there, grabbing it. Thank goodness I got a lot of slack because this will make it real nice to show you guys. Now I'm taking the tag end back to the hole that we just made, alright? So, doing that right there. Now you want to grab this tag end. Did it go through? No, it didn't. Alright, grab the tag end. Make sure it goes nowhere. Now you just want to make sure that this knot forms on that spool nice and tight. And because it's that improved clinch knot, it'll actually cinch the spool for you almost when you spool it around there twice like I did. So then, as you can see, it's being fed exactly from that bail like we talked about earlier. That's the most important part, so that when you start reeling it on, it'll go on there just like it's supposed to. But before we do that, we gotta clip that tag end. So now that's the next step. We're gonna clip that long tag end there and then start going to town. Alright, trying to get as close as possible. That is not as close as we want it, so I'm gonna get back in there. Alright, that's a good angle. So what I did actually, this might be a good tip for you guys, is I just flipped the bail open because it's on there no matter what. So now I'm just getting way up in here. Got as close as I needed to. There's that little tag end. Boom. Alright, so now that line's been soaking in there. I'm gonna stand up, we're gonna both stand up, get a little bit more comfortable, get situated, and then we're gonna start cranking, get this line on there nice and tight. Alright, so now before we even start cranking, I just want to make sure one thing, that the drag is set kind of tight, or at least tight enough to the point where it's not gonna mess up the tension. So we got that set up, and I don't know if it's twisted at all on that. An even amount of pressure on my fingertips. I'm keeping my fingertips right in the center, not moving them or nothing. Take a look at the spool. It's getting on there pretty even, really even. Now, you could stop here if you wanted to, but because this is a pretty thin line, I'm gonna keep going, and I like my reels pretty filled up, so I'm just gonna keep on going. Nice and tight, not springing off the spool. On there beautifully. So now I'm just gonna trim this up, get that line all tucked away so that I can use it again, maybe for another spool or for leaders or whatever. But yeah, that's how you guys spool up a spinning reel all by yourself. You don't need anybody else holding the pencil with holding the pencil with the spool, none of that. You know, you can do it all by yourself, just toss it in a bathtub or like a sink or something like I said. But, all right.